On first down, they'll run with Chubb. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Here's Hilliard. And his first carry, he loses the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, then maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there.
Because warm-ups were dry.
Oh, well, dry. Now you got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. Might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
The tackle made by the linebacker, Joe Schobert.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets him 6. Now it's Jackson. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Now, remember, they were unsuccessful earlier in this first quarter. Going for it on 4th. They're going to try a second time. They'll indeed go for it with Jackson. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. 23 yards on the tuck and run. Everyone in this stadium knows Jackson can do that as well as any QB in the league. They talked about limiting some of his running this year, especially the design runs, but he's still going to scramble when he feels he has green in front of him. He led all quarterbacks last year, 695 yards rushing. And keep in mind, 80% of those came in the 7-game stretch when he was named starter late in the season. Jackson, option right. Oh, some strong running. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 15 yards on the play, first down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like with the run.
And he will score! Touchdown, Baltimore! Lamar Jackson, 35 yards, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And maybe the defense got so caught up in him throwing that he takes off with it. It's a fake. And that one goes virtually nowhere. Tried to fake extra point, but nothing comes of it. And that is one, no doubt, that may come back to haunt them because the PAT tied it. They didn't need to go for 2.
I keep searching for an explanation. I know it's quick right here. I think I can search for the next year and not come up with anything that absolutely works. Kick the point, man. Kick the point. I don't get it.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. The Browns drive about to get started. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so
pressure comes and down goes Baker Mayfield. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon. But following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Mayfield looks to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
Mayfield and this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. 3rd and long for Mayfield. And that will be incomplete. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the 1st down, even throwing the football.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time, and the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Ravens here going to get the football back on offense, but let's look big picture at what's going on right now. They lead the AFC North by 2 games, and I know we're only 6 weeks in, but that's a nice little cushion.
It's an excellent cushion because you had to consider going into the season, and you had to figure Pittsburgh would be right there neck and neck with them. Baltimore, you knew, would be a contender. And, of course, Cleveland was everyone's darling in the preseason. So to be 2 games clear at this point of the season, that's big for them. The best part, they can actually extend the lead. They go to Seattle, and they can play with just about anyone. Have an open week, home to the Patriots on a Sunday night game, and then a rematch with the Bengals. You have to figure at the least they win one of those 3, maybe even 2.
A big effort that time out of Ingram. 79 yards. Well, a nice little sprint there. I guess if you're the defense, the only thing you hold on to, you got him out of bounds, but it's 1st and goal.
And that's all you can hold on to because they didn't hold on to him very well on that run. He gives them 1st and goal, as you outlined, with a big-time play.
They'll run here with Ingram. And he will force his way into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens have taken the lead. And there you go. Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. And this fake extra point attempt failed big time. Not only did they not get it, they went backwards.
Okay, they went for the fake off of the extra point attempt. It's a long way to go, and they didn't get there. Didn't get it completed successfully. Did someone dare them to do that? Did someone double dog dare them to do that?
I was going to ask you, maybe they saw something on film, but do you see something on film with those to try something from the 15 on a PAT? I don't know.
The only thing they needed to see on film there was a snap, a hold, and someone kicking the ball through the post.
This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Mayfield to throw it, and he's got the hook up to Landry. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Mayfield now. And he's got this one complete to Callaway. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 16 yards, a 1st down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Mayfield now already at 100 yards passing in this 1st quarter. It's 1st and 10. Throwing, Mayfield. Now Mayfield lost the football, but fortunately he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
Well, that was a big oops right there, but how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Mayfield off the play fake. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 33. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw, Mayfield. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
Ingram again, a 1st down carry. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
And they'll get this down to the 10. 10 more there and another 1st down. Well, they're making a real first quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
And he will force his way into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter as the Ravens push further out in front. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front, because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
The Browns drive about to get started. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance. And to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. They go play action. Mayfield. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Pernell McPhee always, and he gets to him there. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Call it no gain on the dump off, and it's third down. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He finds Beckham complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, 62 yards. As his guys are back within a single score. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This will be taken in at the 1. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these type of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is making sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Oh, it really has, especially as of late. On second down, it's Ingram. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Jackson. This one complete to Ingram. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on third? Escaping the pressure right. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Jackson, always a threat to run. He's got the first down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown, 40 yards as the Ravens push further out in front. This time the extra point up and good, and that pushes the lead up to 11. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
On second down now, Hilliard. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. On third down, Mayfield. And this is going to be incomplete.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
And the punt team on now as this one's set away. The return is Jones. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And we shift our attention to Mark Ingram. Might he be on his way to a record-setting performance here, Charles? Second quarter, and the yardage number already ridiculous.
And they always talk about just focusing on the next play. But sometimes it's okay to dream big because
I'm focusing on the fourth quarter already.
Listen, I don't blame you, though, because we could be...
But he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. Well, you want to talk about making something out of nothing. Boy, he did that right there. What an incredible run.
Obviously a pass play, and he couldn't find anyone open downfield. But sometimes the receivers just run those defenders off, and it creates a wide-open space.
This will be taken very short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Browns drive about to get started. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
so
well,
something else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. The Browns on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Got an open man. He completes it to Callaway. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 44-yard line. Mayfield now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. It's caught by OBJ. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one. Hence the decline.
A good pickup there for the Browns. 15 yards. Following the penalty, Chubb. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter games.
Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Tyus Bowser with a pick. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Okay, now I want to revisit what we were doing earlier, contender versus pretender. We did the AFC, let's rock the NFC here, starting with the New York Giants.
Pretender, but much improved.
Okay, NFC North, how about the Vikings?
Contender, no doubt about it.
Carolina in the South, what do you think there?
Contender and ascending.
Okay, quarterback play has become a good thing for them. Finally, out west, how about the Arizona Cardinals?
Pretender. The division's just way too tough. There are 3 teams better than them.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. He'll buy some time, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The safety, Morgan Burnett, that time gets home for the sack.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. They run. It's Mark Ingram. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Just bowling over tacklers. And I'll tell you, the effort's sensational, but he may have come up a foot or so short of the line he needed. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker at its 4th. John Harbaugh going to roll the dice. They're going for it on 4th down. They'll run for it. It's Ingram. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Now it's Jackson eluding the pressure right. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns as the Ravens push further out in front. So he scrambled right but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find the target.
As you know, in this game, sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules because we all know most guys throwing the football are taught never throw back into the middle of the field on a scramble. He did it and got away with it for a touchdown.
Instinct sometimes, right? They just take over.
Instinct and vision. Sometimes you just see people who are open, you're able to get it to them.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Speaking of Odell Beckham, he went over 100 yards in that loss to Seattle in Week 6. 101 yards to be exact, 6 catches. Second 100-yard game for him as a Cleveland Brown, but people are waiting for him to find the end zone more. Just 1 touchdown catch through 6 weeks. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. A run for Nick Chubb. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Chubb. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
And let's pin the mirrors back.
They'll run. It's Hilliard.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 6. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And that is incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD. And
right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
They go play action here on 1st down. He uncorked. That's caught inside the 20. And he takes this way down deep into Cleveland territory. It's a big play there for Baltimore. And even 40 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. From 17 yards out as his guys continue to put this one on. It's a fake. They'll try and throw for him. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it. Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. And it's a short kick taken out beyond the 20. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. The Browns drive about to get started. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field in this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. Mayfield. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 42. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Matt Judon able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Here's Mayfield. It's caught. Beckham. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. The Browns on third down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, Mayfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful. Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in.
And a 20th carry now for Ingram. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he'll have the first down as he's up to about the 18. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. He's going deep for Brown. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. It's a big play there for Baltimore, and even 40 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Marquise Brown with his second touchdown here in this first half. That only takes off with it. It's a fake. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Browns drive about to get started. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. Going deep. He's got a man complete. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Well, we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. From the red zone now, Mayfield. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Browns are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit.
Mayfield's pass complete to number 13, Odell Beckham. Touchdown, Denver.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And they get a bit of a respite here from what's been an otherwise dreadful first half of football. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they...
It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 49 yards. What a first half this has been offensively. I mean, defensively, what do you do when you're getting torched like this?
Well, these receivers are absolutely wearing them out. So two thoughts come to mind. One, get some oxygen to fill up your lungs a little bit. And number two, talk to your guys up front. You need a pass rush to help slow them down.
It's a good gain of 11, sets them up first and goal. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal. Jackson from the shotgun, flushed out right. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Browns. Another shot from the 9 on second and goal.
Let's go, let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 2.
Draw play. Ingram now. And he will force his way into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram in the final seconds of the first half as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And let's not forget he had the receiving touchdown earlier, now a trio of rushing touchdowns. Quite a performance.
Diversification, that's all you can talk about. His ability to do everything leaves him on the field on every down on offense because you can hand it to him as we've seen. But you said 3 rushing touchdowns, and of course throw it to him where he's caught 1 as well.
Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Browns drive about to get started. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
He's going to loft it deep right. That's caught at the 25.
Let's go, baby.